I do apologize about that. I mean, y'all wasn't here for the technical difficulties, but I'm apologize anyway because I have recorded a whole piece and the audio didn't work. That's neither here nor there. Welcome back to another edition of Weebs at Night. This is kind of like a wind down moment for me where I can reflect on the day. Something I realized is when I was in high school, or in school in general, but mainly high school, right? I was a full bona fide nerd, but nobody knew I was a nerd, right? Because I was in talent shows and I was a skater guy, or whatever, however anyone in high school may have remembered me. They didn't remember me as a nerd. I remember when I started to rebrand myself musically to incorporate what really got me into, the creative side or the imaginative side of being creative, which was anime and video games. And I seen some old friends from high school saying that I wasn't a nerd. And I was like, dang, that's interesting, because if you really were my friend, you would know. But more to that point, it made me realize just how different, weebs are perceived socially. I'm just gonna cut straight to the point. Weebs, nerds, we're usually socially undercooked a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And for that reason, we have a stigma that, we can't really be a part of the in crowd, because to be a part of the in crowd means you figured out how to maneuver successfully socially, right? And for me, I always appreciated that I was a nerd first and then became popular, because it's a really cool, almost Batman and Bruce Wayne type of duality. I see that this culture that I love so much is completely underrepresented and misrepresented in the larger mainstream society, and I wanted to represent us in a whole different way that hadn't been seen before. And to that side of mainstream society, they like it and they're cool with it, to the point where it's garnered me some really cool opportunities. But then when I turn around and try to bridge the gap in a backward compatibility type of way, I've not received as much success as I would like to have received from, my fellow weebs. It's like two different worlds. You guys have developed your own social standards and social norms, and they're not the same as the mainstream social norms. And I know that's where it makes a difference, but then it begs the question, where do I fit in? Because I'm not totally into the whole mainstream social norm type of thing. I'm a very quirky dude, but at the same time, I'm not super deep into weebdom, like where I'm like cosplaying and stuff like that. So I'm not that deep into it either. Is there a middle point for us? I think I'm the middle point. Do you understand the point that I'm making? Basically what I'm saying is, being a weeb is cool as hell, but nobody understands how cool it is because there isn't a translator for it. There's no translator, and there's no one interested on the other side in learning our language, but they do love our culture, from a corporate standpoint and economical standpoint, want to tap into the things that are dearest to us, but they don't really know how to talk to us. They want to communicate with us and they want to bring us into the bigger conversation, but we don't have an ambassador for real, for real. Like Meg Thee Stallion, that's cool. She's not really an ambassador. She's more of like, I would say like just a really great entry way into like crossing from mainstream into weeb culture. But she's not really, in the culture. There isn't really anyone, you know what I'm saying? And I think the closest we may have, if you know anything about electronic music, may be Porter Robinson, but he is not mainstream whatsoever. And I don't think he has any inclination to become mainstream either. But I do. And that's what I've been thinking about, today, at the end of my workday, at night, while I'm decompressing and I'm analyzing everything that I've learned today. I've learned that weebs are socially, underdeveloped a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I want to say to that point that that's where I come in. That is why I'm here talking to you direct. I usually try to communicate through my art alone, just the music and through my manga, etc. But sometimes you gotta just kind of just keep it 1,000 and just talk straight up.